I thank you for today. Thank you for Africa. Thank you for this session that we're going to have right now. Thank you for our mind and for everything that we do have. Our desire and our joy and our want, our need is to see changes in our lives and in the lives of our brothers and sisters in Africa. And so help us as we navigate our way and all these ideas and all these things that we talk, we may finally reach to that place of change, awareness, consciousness, right? So that we may actually transform our lives and the lives of those we love in our communities and in our houses and in our countries. I pray all these things in your name. Use me as your vessel to deliver that message. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. Well, you guys have seen the title. I realize that I always say this when I begin to share that how institutionalization can change Africa. That's what I wrote, right? Did I get it right? How institutionalization going to transform Africa? Yes. And in the title, I mean, in the thumbnail of this video, I wrote institutionalization of Africa, right? We usually like to use the word industrialization, of Africa. So I don't know if I got it right. If I got it wrong, you guys let me know in the comment section, but I just wrote that. Institutionalization of Africa. And I'm going to explain that concept a little bit right now with you guys. All right, a little bit for you guys to actually get what, for those who maybe do not understand what does it mean, to at least get the picture of what I'm trying to say. All right, I think the lights are not really good. So I see a lot of, the light is not good here. It's very like, let me try to fix something here, right? Just give me a second. Let me try to fix something. How about now? No, actually. All right, guys, just give me a second. I need to fix the light and then I'll be back. I need to fix the light. What about now? Is that okay? Institutionalization of Africa. Oh, that's kind of dark. Oh, that's too bright. Okay. What about now? What about now? That's cool. All right. Let me change this light like this. Is that cool? All right. It's light. If this place is not really my room, it's gonna. Anyways, I'll just leave like that. All right, guys. So institutionalization. What do I mean by saying institutionalize? Hey, this word is really hard to pronounce. All right, let me try to find here on Google Voice so that I can pronounce it right. Okay. English is not my language, guys. I wish I can speak in Swahili here, but I don't even know the word in Swahili for that one. Institutionalization. Is it like that? Let me get it right, okay?
Institutionalization.
One more time?
Institutionalization.
Institutionalization. One more time?
Institutionalization.
we are having English lecture here.
Institutionalization.
Institutionalization. All right, guys, institutionalization. How institutionalization going to transform Africa? Institutionalization of Africa. We know the concept of industrialization of Africa. Today, I want to talk about institutionalization of Africa. So let me give you guys a little bit of background where I'm coming from. So today, I had a meeting. All right, I had a meeting. I was just sitting down with the manager of Ethiopian Airlines, and we had a very long meeting. All right, just exchange of thoughts. All right, I told you guys before that we've been connecting back in the days, but we never really get a chance to meet face to face. Today was the first time. Sat down, and we were just talking, right? So we spoke for many hours. I guess and he was out of the office, so it was kind of like kind of like, long meeting, right? 2 hours or something like that. And the meeting was really good because we talk about so many things. I got to share about me, about our vision and what we stand for, a little bit to him. And as well, he got to, share with me some of the work that, they've been doing here to represent Africa. And actually, man, like Ethiopian Airlines here in South Korea, they have been doing incredibly well. And the video is coming. I'm gonna have another conversation with him, and I'll share with you guys videos. Just see how much they've achieved, actually representing the entire continent of Africa, not specifically Ethiopia, but the continent, because that's the only here. I mean, they know that as an African airline, so they have achieved a lot, and I got a chance to hear what they have achieved. So as we were talking about all this stuff, and since he's here in Korea, lived here in Korea, there's a lot of stuff that we talked about, and one of the thing it was about institutionalization. That's why I said, man, I need to go and to share with my people. So, I went to Dubai. I saw this. I'm here in South Korea. I've seen this. And you guys, wherever you are, let's say you're in the US or whatever, I think you have seen what I'm going to talk about right now. So one thing that is really, really interesting, even especially here in Korea, a lot of changes and a lot of improvement and a lot of development that are happening in this country, most of them are not done by the government. Government is there to manage. Government is there to lead. Government is there to take taxi, to give them space, opportunities for business, opportunities for companies, opportunity for different things. Government is there to do that work, but the work is being done by a lot of private sectors. If you come here to Korea, you'll find the big companies like Samsung, right? That's one of the biggest company in the world. You find companies like Hyundai. That's one of the biggest car company in the world. And Kia, Hyundai, they bought Kia, by the way. That's one of the biggest company in the world. You'll find LG. Life is good. Actually, that's the real meaning of LG. That's one of the biggest electronic company in the world. All right. If you come here in the country, you see Samsung and LG always competing. But LG these days, they fell, even though they had really nice phones. So they gave up. They're not, producing phones anymore, and they are dealing with other stuff, right? Electronics. But they're really cool. And you guys know, because even in your countries, maybe you have branches and all those stuff. And there's so many other companies. If I start mentioning here, I'm not going to be able to finish. All right. Here, if you come here in the land, they have one company called Kakao Talk. Kakao Talk is basically like, it has everything. They have like taxis, like it's like Uber of Kakao Talk. They have application like WhatsApp called Kakao Talk. They have, coffee shop, Kakao Talk. They have like a shopping mall like that. They have like everything. It's like they have even news, everything. And the same company, they have a branch that they open as well in Japan that called Neva. That's another company that is here. It's belong to here. So why am I sharing with you all these companies and all these institutions that are here, that are owned actually by private people? They are the one that transform this country. A lot of majority of people who are being employed, Koreans who are working, they're working for these private sectors, private companies. That people, they actually invest in the country. And so the changes, you see, like there's really big buildings, like the ones that are here in the pictures. I put them in the picture specifically for one specific reason, that you guys, you have to see it, all right? These buildings like these that are here, everywhere you go, most of them is for companies and private sectors. Industries that are here producing, manufacturing different goods, different electronics, different stuff, they are private. What do government do? The work of the government is pretty much very small. Even the budget of the country here, the biggest donor of the budget, back in the days, they were, they had a little bit scandals of their previous president who went to prison. Samsung itself, it was the one that actually giving a lot of money as a budget as well, contributing, donating to the government for the work. The same thing if you go to Dubai. I went to Dubai. I've shown you guys a little bit of that place, and you will see all these really big buildings that have, there's this one company called Umar. Umar, I think I pronounce it right. If you've been to Dubai, I think you've seen pretty much all of the long buildings, all the buildings of that Dubai city belongs to this one company called Umar. That it has like the value of that company is over 500 billion US dollars. That's according to what I heard, if it's correct, 500 US billion dollars. And these companies, they own pretty much all the buildings that you see there in Dubai. But guess who has stocks in those companies? People who are owning those companies, they're actually people, the local people. Everybody, like, they have their own stock in this beautiful, amazing company, and they're owning pretty much everything. And they're the one that transforming the countries. So what are you learning from all this stuff? You can go on and on, different examples on the countries you have. But one thing you learn in common is that people, they're actually transforming their countries. People, they're actually bringing about development in their countries. Not government. Because I'll tell you this. You go anywhere in this world, every government in this world, they are corrupted. I know it sounds too strong. All right. It sounds too strong. Let me flash back a little bit, Okay. They have issues. Let me use this word. They have issues. Every single government you see in this world, my country, your country, their country, everywhere in Africa, outside of Africa, they have issues. And you will never hear one day government says we have enough money to bring about development. You'll never hear that. So I think one thing that Africa, we're different with the other nationalities, with other countries I just mentioned right now, is that we Africans, we expect and we wait for government to bring change into our communities. We wait for government to transform, to bring development into our cities. We wait for that. And I'm telling you, we're going to wait until Jesus comes back, because every single person that go there, they have their own agenda, they have their own priorities. And as always, leadership, it always have shortage of money, always. Always. Man, I'm leading Swahili Nation One Africa, and I see the same thing in this organization. So in a way, I might feel what they feel sometimes when they're right there leading. They know that, oh my goodness, how can I lead these 60, 50, 100, 200 million people, and we don't have enough money? But the difference between Africa and these other countries is that other countries, people, they know that. So what they do is they're investing in institution. They build institution that actually transform the countries, because when you build institution like that, of course, you're going to give people employment. You're going to bring the service to the country. Of course, if it is the appearance, the atmosphere of the country, you're going to change that. I've seen that in so many countries. I went to Ethiopia. I've seen those parks that are in there. Not all of the parks, they were built by the government. You have Entoto Park. If you go there, it's just a person who built all those parks. Water Park and Toto Water Park, someone built that. And when you go there, you have this an amazing time. You enjoy, you do all this stuff, but somebody did that and is paying taxes to the government, to the country. Not only that, but it gave like job opportunities to the local people who are working in those parks and those areas and those government, on those organizations. And that's what helps to transform the countries. So in Africa, it seems like we are a little bit behind, because most of our conversations, we always talk and blame government, which is, we have a point. I'm saying we have a point because I do that. They have their role to play. But what I'm sharing with you today is that assume you don't have government. We have government, but assume that the change is not going to be brought to you by the government. This is a difficult message. I need to be very careful. So when I look at the country, right? If you are the government and you are the leader, your job is to change people's lives. Your job is to at least like bring a little bit wealthy, to make things better, to make lives better, to use the tax and the money that has been given, that people are giving, in a way that is going to benefit the people. That is your job. Your job is to supervise. Your job is to lead and to guide this country. Your job is to do that. But you know, one thing that we always complain is that the leadership in Africa suck. The leadership in Africa suck. The leadership in Africa suck. What do we do about it? If that is the case, if that is the issue, what do we do about it? What do we do to live, even if the leadership is not good in some countries, even if that is the issue, what do we do to survive? What do we do to live? This is what I'm sharing with you guys today. That the change is not going to be brought by 20 or 50 or 100 or 200 government leaders that we have in our countries. The change is going to be brought by the people who knows exactly what the issues in the country, who knows exactly what they're going through, who knows exactly how much they're going to lose, who knows exactly how much they have been losing, who knows exactly what has been happening in the country. Those are people who are going to bring change. If I was born in my village, I know exactly what's the problem in my village. If the problem is water, I know that my village people, they're always struggling with water. They're drinking not clean water. What am I going to do to bring that? Instead of waiting for the government to bring the water project in my village, what am I going to do? What are we going to do? What kind of ability do we have to actually put institutions in Africa that will transform the continent? Will employ people. At the same time, will support the work that is going back home. This is collaborations between the government and the people. Government, you see, government is not doing their job. You have ability to start institution. We have to institutionalize Africa. That's one of the ways that is going to transform Africa in the level you have never seen before. I went to few countries in this world, and every country that is developed, it was not developed by the government, but it was developed by the private sectors. People, they stood up, they started institutions, they started companies, they started organization, they employ people, they brought development in the countries, they brought roads, they brought whatever, buildings, whatever it is, schools, hospitals, food factories, everything. People, they do that change. So this is the challenge, and especially because when I'm talking about small businesses, you guys who are living in Africa, who have a little bit of amount of income, you can actually do small business. But we have people in the diaspora, Africans, who actually, most of them, they have a lot of money. Go back to Africa, build institutions, build schools, build hospitals, build industries. We will always say that, how can we at this age of time import food? How in this age of time import clothes? How in this age of time import this and this? Man, that's what we say. But instead of saying, we need to actually put on action. Go back home, start the industry of manufacturing clothes, industry of manufacturing some plastic materials, industries of manufacturing papers, because plastic is not good for the environment. All right. That's why here in Swahili Nation, our very first project that we want to do in Africa is smart farming project. Smart farming project, greenhouses project. Why? Because guys, I want to say this, because in Africa, at this age of time, food security is the most important thing than anything else. We have data that shows that in this year and years to come, there will be a heavy drought in Africa. It will hit Somalia so hard. It will hit northern part of Kenya. Right now, people are dying. It will hit Ethiopia and some other countries in Africa. They will not have food because of heavy drought that is coming. And because of the climate change, rains are not going to come like the way we expect them to come. Then how are we preparing ourselves from this drought that is coming, from this food insecurity that we constantly have in Africa? Our people are dying because they don't have food. Not only that, nevertheless, we still import food from outside that most of it is not good, it's not clean, it's not safe. Like actually, as I'm saying here, I'm saying this, and the leader of the country watching this, and they're importing food from somewhere, be like, this guy, how sure you are that this food is not clean? That's a hard spot to be in. It's a hard spot to be in, but we all know that the best food is organic food. I gave an example before. The rice that was imported to one particular country a long time ago, that it was not rice, it was actually plastic. These are things that we ate in the past. You have people are dying because of cancer these days. These days in Africa, cancer is becoming a normal thing. It's a disease that it was not there. Maybe because of the microwaves we are using, we're using all these, rays. Maybe because of the food that we are using, food that is not particularly from there. These days, the problem of, not having babies, it's just increasing. It's increasing. And it's a time to wake up, because these issues, it's deeper than we think. And especially biology. These days, especially biology, when it comes to food, when it comes to everything, to our body, there's so many things going on inside our body that are poisoning us, even without us knowing. You just eat out of nowhere, or you just inject out of nowhere, and you don't know what is coming inside your body. You don't know what is happening in your body. These are issues that are costing our lives. You become weak, you become sick, you don't get babies anymore. What kind of generation are we creating in 50, in 100 years to come, Africa? If we keep depending on the food that is coming outside, if we keep importing something from outside that we can actually produce by ourselves. These are kind of things that you're not going to blame the government, because here's the thing, man. If you don't have food in the country and people are dying, and then someone out there is offering food to give out to you, are you going to reject? And you are the president of the country and you see people are dying. You see people, they don't have food. Are you going to say no? So we need to cut them some slack. That sometimes it's a matter of life and death. If you say no, people will attack you, because people are continue to die. They don't have food. So you have no other option than to say yes, that food to come to save people. That's the hard spot of leader of the country when he's facing drought and don't know what to do, because we were not prepared back in the days. I live with 3 philosophies, and I want to share with you guys today. I share this with my team I share this with the team on Sunday. I want to share with everybody here today, because I want you guys to think this a lot. The first thing that I live with is preparation. Where we are today, if you see people are dying because they don't have food, it's because we were not prepared 20 years ago. We were not prepared 50 years ago. We didn't prepare ourselves to save our people's life, to save their lives in 20 years later. Flash forward, 20 years later today, people are dying because they don't have food in Africa. It's ridiculous. And we have this amazing land, fertile land. We have everything. You just plant something. You don't even need a fertile to grow. Things grow. But we were not prepared ourselves back in the days. We still use the old ways of farming that it takes a long time. It takes so much energy with little bit of the product, with little bit of the output. We were not prepared ourselves. My first principle in life, I believe if you follow these are things that are going to transform your life. Preparations. In everything, we need to prepare ourselves. So as Africa, as Swahili Nation One Africa, we know that this drought that is here, I wish, man, we have been working for One Africa. Swahili Nation this is the second year pretty much. It started Swahili Nation like 3 years ago, but One Africa started 2 years ago. So basically working for this One Africa is 2 years right now. This is the second year. And right now, guys, we are preparing ourselves not for tomorrow, because this project, if it's going to work, and it's going to work, it's not going to start happening right now. No, it's going to be for in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, maybe in short time. If it is about vegetables and all this stuff, maybe in a couple months, we'll start seeing the fruits of what we are doing. So we are preparing the future for the next generation, for the entire generation, so that later on, in 10 years later on, when there's a heavy drought because of the climate change that is happening, our people will be able to survive because they'll have excessive amount of food everywhere. They're not going to beg for WHO. They're not going to beg anywhere. No, we'll have excessive amount of food. We'll reserve, because we know this thing, man, for those Christians, they know this thing happened even back in the days in Egypt with Joseph. He had 7 years of abundance and he had 7 years of heavy drought. You know what they did in 7 years of abundance? They save. And then when 7 years of drought came, they were just using the same food that they saved a long time ago. These are the ways that us as Africans, we're supposed to be thinking about our continent. And I'm talking about just one project that we want to start with, of the food security, greenhouses and food security for our people. We know drought is a serious threat. Climate change is a serious threat to our continent, and we want to be able to use the most modern ways to do farming, to produce a lot with a little amount of energy, to employ our people, university students who actually they went to university to start about agriculture and all the stuff, to have this project, to carry this project across our countries. First, we're beginning in Tanzania, and then we're going to duplicate across the continent of Africa. These people, they'll be working in this project and hiring people who will come and work for them. Our moms who are working in the village, they're working so hard, like digging like this, farming like this. It's so difficult. I've done that with my mom, and I have a video. Let me show you guys. I've done that with my mom, and let me show you a video. I was doing with my mom when I went to visit her. And I was like, Mom, man, I used to do back in the days, but I was like, Mom, man, this is pretty big farm, pretty big farm. And my mom and me, who are doing this together. So I'm telling you things that I know. I'm telling you things that I've done. I'm telling you things that I know. And some of you right now in Africa are doing this. Let me show you. If you go to my YouTube, Mika Chavala, on YouTube, and I'll show you this video right here. Okay, let me show you guys. If you haven't subscribed, guys, you can go to subscribe. This is my personal YouTube channel. If you go here, there's one video I want to show you. This one. Let me show you guys. All right, guys. It's a new day, and it's around 9 a.m. in the morning right now. I'm heading to the farm. Guys, my mom, she retired recently. She's been a teacher for like almost 40 years, and she retired now, so she just started to do farming activities. So I'm going to help her out today with my own hands. I'll show you. I can see her here. My mom, she's there. So you can see her. She's there. That's my mom right there. I'm going to give her a hand. I'm glad to do this, man. That's how our moms do back in Africa. You might just stay still and start getting some diseases and all those kind of things. But it's good if you have something to do. My mom, she don't want to do business yet right now. She just want to do farming, And I think it's not a bad idea. So I'm here to give her a hand. Let's do it together. Family always comes first. Let me show you. Guys, this is what my mom she's doing. She's been doing since morning. This is beans and this is maize. Yeah, mom, she's there. She don't know that I'm here, so I'm going to surprise her. She has no idea that I'm here. Mama! Mama, pole na kazi. Good morning. Mama. Nimekuja hapa nikupe msaada. Tusaidiane kidogo. And this here, it's my brother's house. He's been building. Okay. Wow, look at the sky, man. This beautiful sky. Man. What a beautiful sky. Look at this sky. Because my mom has done all this here, all the way to there. So I'm gonna help her finishing this part. This is what we're gonna do now. So this is what I'm gonna be doing today. Get to it, okay? I gotta get out of here and do this as soon as possible. So I'll see you later, guys. Okay? All right, guys. The work is done. Mama iko hapa. She's happy that I'm here with her. Man, I love my hometown, man. Look at this. All right, guys. Uh, we are done. And let me check how long we've used. But we are done. As you can see, this area is super good right now. Everything is good to go. It has been, I think it has been more than 10 years. I haven't done something like this. More than 10 years since I left for high school. I never did something like this. This is my first time in more than a decade. Man, I'm sweating bad, but I thank God that I've been working out, in South Korea. So this has been like a gym for me. This is good. It's good. It's good, Mama. Area. I told my mom that, Mom, you don't have to do this. You can just give job to people. You can give job to people and pay them to do something like this. So I told her, as days goes on, she's going to stop doing this because she said, Mama, how do you feel?
Fine.
Umechoka?
I'm okay.
Are you tired?
No.
So you want to go again?
No.
Mama. All right. Yes, again back home. I go back home, go to take a shower, and get ready for other works. Mama, good job. You deserve something good. You deserve like something fresh.
Kambole.
Mm. Oh, Mama, you still got it. You have so much strength in you. Mama una nguvu aise. Bye bye.
Bye, shamba.
Mama, sasa hivi unataka ule nini sasa hizi? What do you want to drink?
Water.
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 Sema you again. What do you want to drink, Mama?
I want to drink water.
My mom says you want to drink water. So good. Wow. Mama. So much fun. My mama.
I said, what's my water?
Our American ndio asa water.
Want to drink water. Water.
Alikuwa yuko nyumbani. Mama, sema get out of here.
Get out of here.
Sema GP, get out of here.
GP, get out of here.
Okay, so GP, get out of here.
GP, get out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Oh, one more time. GP, get out of here.
GP, get out of here.
You heard it. You heard her. Get out of here, man. All right. So guys, you have seen. All right, guys, I'm a son of a farmer. All right, I'm a farmer. That's if you guys want to understand why the first project of Swahili Nation One Africa is smart farming, because I'm a farmer. I'm a son of a farmer. My mom, she used to be a teacher. She retired, but we have always been farming. My dad, of course, is a pastor, but he is a farmer. That's how we've been raised. That's what we've always been doing. I went back home. My mom's right now, she's like 65 something. My dad, the same age, but she's still doing work like this. She's still doing this. And this is what a lot of our parents, a lot of our people are doing back in Africa. They're using the old ways of farming. But the result, the old way of farming, it only depends and rely on the rain. If you don't have rain, then you might lose everything. You might not have anything. Not only that, but sometimes you have like birds. In Africa, there's so much birds. There's hens. They're living there like chickens. They're here and there, going here and there. You have animals. Sometimes they just mess up the shamba. Shamba is farm. Shamba in Swahili, I'll just call it shamba. They mess up the shambas. There's so many different things that can happen that you can lose everything. You have spent so much energy. You have used all your strength. You are 65 years of age. Use all of your strength. I'm sorry, to dig and all that stuff, to farm everything, but then you lose everything just in a moment. If heavy rain comes and there's a flood, you can lose all the products. We saw what happened in South Africa just recently. All right. If rain doesn't come, you lose. You don't have any products. If birds come, they can eat everything. If animals come, they can eat everything. Because in Africa, we have animals just wandering around everywhere. So there's so much of a risk to lose everything that you're doing. You're doing, like, that's why they call smart farm. This is a technology, this is something that Africa, we can actually do it to save our people, to save our parents who are working so hard, so very hard, man. Like, I went there, I was telling my mom over and over, Mom, why don't you just give someone even a little money, people that want to work, they can come and do this instead of you. But my mom, she loves like working out. She works out every single day, like every single day. I got it from my mama, guys. My mom and my dad. She works out every single day, and that's why she do. So she loved doing that because she said, I need to stay active. She does that, but I feel sorry for her because she works for so long time. And I'm like, Mom, just relax, chill. But imagine if I had ability to do something like smart farm, I will go back home in that farm, and then I'll just put some facilities there for smart farm. And my mom should still do the same thing, taking care of this farm, but she'll do with less energy. Right, with like you spend less energy, because as you grow older, you lose your energy. You don't need to do all this kind of stuff. Otherwise, you're gonna hurt yourself. The day you're going back home, your back is hurt so bad because you've been lying down like this all the time. Man, I'm 29 years of age, but that day I did that for a couple hours and I was already tired because I didn't do for 10 years. Imagine you're 65 years of age, and then for a couple hours you're just like this. You're doing like this. Man, come on, man. I've done this. I've seen this. This is very personal to me because I'm a farmer. I'm a son of a farmer. This Korea, Dubai. Oh, why this? Don't let this fool you. I'm a son of a farmer, and what we do farming. That's what we do all the time. So the project that we want to do, smart farming, greenhouses, is basically do the same thing that our parents are doing, because that a lot of people are farmers back home in Africa, but being able to empower them to use less energy, but then to have the excessive amount of output. That's the reason why I'm still here. That's the reason why we wrote concept note and proposals of smart farming. That's the reason why I forwarded these emails to so many companies out there. Like most of companies, I already forwarded to them, and I didn't get answers anyways, but I forwarded to them, and I'm still waiting. And that's the reason why I'm going here and there to meet up with people and to sell this idea that, okay, we want to do this something. If this is something that you are interested in, it's something that you want to invest in, you want to do, please, let's go back home and save our people. That's what we are doing. That's what we are going to do. Doing smart farm. First of all, we are going to initiate in Tanzania in the headquarters, because we want to, us as Swahili Nation One Africa office, we want to do it as well. We want to do it practically, so that as we are having these young people from Africa, as we are having these young people from different cities coming together to train them about smart farming, they'll be able to come and to see practically that this is what we are doing. And you know what will happen. If you have food security in the country, if you have food security in the continent, you serve everything else. If people, they are full, they can work. If people, they are full, they can do anything else. We're going to reduce a number of people who are dying in Africa simply because of shortage of food. We're going to reduce that. We're going to cut it down. I want nobody to die in Africa because of hunger. No one. I want no one. In Africa, hunger is like natural causes death. It's not. It's ridiculous. It's lack of preparations. This is what I stand for. This is my philosophy in life. Preparation is lack of preparations. We don't prepare Africa in 10 years to come. People, they already know there will be drought in 20 years from now. People, they already know if you're going to live until then, this world, how is it going to be? Oh, our kids will be in this world. How is it going to be if we're not preparing today the environment? They will start doing, like, talking about these projects later on. You come to the countries of other people. This is what I learned farming, the normal farming back home, because that's how I was doing what I was doing. I came here, I saw another level of doing farming here. crazy, another level that from January to another January to December, the entire year, they're just producing, manufacturing. And these guys is South Korea. South Korea doesn't have a lot of things. They import almost everything. They import banana, they import avocado, they import almost everything. Coffee, they have so many coffee shops. Just Starbucks in South Korea. There's so many branches more than in the United States. But they don't produce coffee. They don't have it. They import it. They import almost everything. Look at Africa. Africa, we have everything. We have banana. We have avocado. We have mangoes. We have watermelon. We have orange. We have grapes. You know, you can make wine out of that. We have gold. Guys, we have everything. Africa is supposed to be exporting those products to South Korea. Supposed to be exporting bananas to South Korea, avocados to South Korea. It's money. It's an opportunity. But we need to figure out the way to do it. And Swahili Nation One Africa, we're here to do that. We're not just talking. We're here to do practical. So if you know people who are interested in smart farming, if you know people who are doing that, we need support, because this is the first project we're going to actualize in Africa. We're going to make sure that we have enough food supply in Africa, and we will supply it. Guys, do you understand that? We, as Swahili Nation One Africa, we will supply. We'll have farms. We'll build them. We will build all this smart farming across the continent. Specifically, we're just starting one place first, because we need to actually do it, to show how to do it, and then we're going to duplicate everywhere else. So we're going to actualize that. We're going to do that. And the products that we are going to farm all over the country, all over the place, we'll have all kinds of products. It depends on how much money we got and how much work we're going to do. Once we do that, we're going to supply everywhere. If it is in the country, if it is vegetable, because we encourage people to eat organic food. We're going to produce, we're going to eat what we produce as African. This is food, something that goes inside your body. You cannot take from anywhere else but the one that you produce by yourself. And then we'll move on to clothes, build our own industries, making our own clothes. Do that. There's already people doing that in Africa. But I want everything that is happening in Africa to be something that is being produced by African. If you want to buy something outside, it's your choice. But we want to give you an opportunity and for you to have ability to consume everything in Africa that is produced by Africans in the continent, within the continent. Literally, Africa to be like supermarket, to have everything that you need. You need carrot, are there. You need watermelon, are there. You need avocados, it's there. You need vegetables, there. Rice, there. Grape, there. Anything that you need is there. Institutionalization. Oh man, I need to listen to this word again.
Institutionalization.
Institutionalization, exactly. Institutionalization. So we're starting with that sector. But some of you, maybe you already have ideas, you already have plan, you want to do something in Africa. I want to encourage you guys, go and build your institution in Africa. That's the only way we are going to transform this continent, man. Don't sit back and wait for the government to create roads, to create industries, to come with this and this. Man, it will take forever, I'm telling you guys, because they have their own priority. Some of them, they have this priority, they have that priority. But if you want things to actually happen, go and invest, go and do it. Let's build institutions. So for instance, let me tell you this. I'm going to give you a vivid example. I want to give 2 examples of Ethiopian Airlines. When I went to Ethiopia, I got a chance to go to Ethiopia Aviation Academy. This is the academy that is training pilots and all these flight attendants that basically, I think they have 2 in Africa, South Africa and Ethiopia. And right now they're transforming it to university. They want it to be a university. It's training our pilots in Africa. And when I went there, I met students from all over Africa right there together. This is institution. If they do so much good work, if they manage to do so much work, I'm telling you, Ethiopian Airlines will be able to, they already built that aviation academy. They'll be able to build industries, even later aircraft industries. They're able to do that. so that whatever aircraft that we want to buy for Africa, we'll go and buy from Ethiopia. They can build that. This I'm talking about institution, schools, universities, different industries. And I'm telling you, building this is how you transform the continent. This is how you do, because you're going to pay tax to the government. That tax will be used to develop something else. And also you're giving employment to people. All the money that is going out, people that are going to be trained outside of the continent to become pilots, all the money that is going out to buy airplanes to bring to Africa, we'll be able to produce, to manufacture that in Africa because we have institutions. Medicines that are being produced outside. I'm telling you, a lot of doctors, African doctors, are working in the US, are you working in the UK? They're working outside in the Canada. A lot of African doctors are there. Just Nigeria, they have like 1,000 and 1,000. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 18,000 doctors there in the US, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong in numbers, but that's the number of doctors, African doctors in the US. So imagine these doctors, how much they will do in Africa. If we create institution for them, if we create labs for them, if we invest in that, you have money, you want to invest, you can invest in the lab. People that are doing research to figure out what are the medicine, whatever. This is the time for us to discover our own way of doing things. Instead of using some other theories that they create outside there and we don't even know if it's going to work for us or not. We have our people, smart, brilliant Africans. If we don't own anything, we cannot do anything. If we don't own anything, we cannot do anything. If you don't own the land, even if you build a house, that house is not yours because that house is on top of someone else's land. How are you owning the land? Ownership. Black people, we should start have ownership. Okay, let me just say, Africans, we should start having ownership. Because if I just categorize just like that, just in one place, I'm going to be forgetting the rest of other Africans who are not black, actually. Africans, we need to start owning things. Ownership. Ownership, private sectors, ownership. So my request, man, my call for all the diasporas, go back home, do business, create institutions, do that. Go back and invest back home. You're going to give employment to people. You're going to help people. You're going to help your people. I was watching one interview that, he did just, I think 1 day ago, and he said something. He said, why don't we start seeing each other as people and not a race? Just as people. Just as people. And we always encourage here people that in Africa, we should see each other as Africans. We are Africans. We are Africans. This continent, it will always be controlled if we don't own anything. It will always be controlled. We need to start taking initiative. And I'm telling you, if we control the economy, we control everything else. China did that. Even Vietnam are doing that. South Korea are doing that. What about us? And these are countries I'm mentioning that they were actually poor long time ago. They were the same level. Institutionalization of Africa. So this is the time. Let me just say once again, as I'm going, before I close this, let me share these 3 things, and then I'm gonna share the link in the comment section for people to come and to contribute as well. Let me share right now. Thank you so much for the super chat. I see here again this person right here. Always this person is blessing me with the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. And if you can, I just share the link in the comment section. You can come and also to contribute. I would love to thank you personally, but thank you so much for your contribution. That means a lot. I said I'm sharing these 3 philosophies, 3 things I believe in, 3 things that I'm always standing with, and that is preparation. The second one is details, like focusing on the details. Most of us, we don't focus on the details. We just like shallow things. We don't focus on the details. And that's what cause us to be where we are. Like if you have a contract with certain countries outside of Africa, you don't read You just read the title, you just read a little bit, like the first page, they say, you don't focus on the details, the lines, the secret, they're in the details. There's other sentence you need to read 3 times, 4 times, 10 times to understand what is in there. These videos, some of them you need to listen to, a lot of time to be able to understand what I'm trying to say, because it makes sense in my mind. It might not make sense to you if you just listen and pass. So maybe you're gonna need to rewind and to listen to it again. Details. It changes everything. And time. Keeping time, saving time. These are 3 things that I always stand with. And I just want to give you these secrets because they will help you. So there's a link in the comment section. If you want to come and to contribute to what I'm talking here, feel free to come and to contribute. This is what we want to transform. This is one we want to change. This is one we want to transform this continent. Oh, my friends say this continent don't need transformation. We as a people need that. And I'm sharing with you these details because this is what you need for your own good, for our own good. Guys, it's the time to do that. So as I said, I'm not going to stay long. I've been here already for 1 hour. I hope you guys listen to what I was saying. This is the time to do that. I hope we'll hold our hands. I hope we march toward the greatness of Africa. And I hope nothing stops us from moving forward. So if you wanna connect us with some people related to agriculture, and that these guys, I think they'll be able to partner or to help one another, to be able to actualize these plans that we have. Send us email at oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. I'm saying that you can send to both of our emails for inquiries. info@sn1africa.com and also oneafricaofficial@gmail.com. Send to both of them. Let us know. Send to both of them, and we'll connect and we'll see what we can do together. All right, guys. Nobody's coming here, so I just want to appreciate you guys for being here. Let me read 2 or 1 comments, and then I'll leave. Marich says, here the farmers are already, after 3 years of drought, start to invest ways to use less water but still drain the crops. Exactly. You see, drought is the threat right now to this world. This is it's one of the solid Swahili Nation One Africa, our leader, our member right here, and from the Netherlands. And these are kind of expertise that you get to hear what our other people are doing. If they do that in Europe, what about in Africa, man? Salamawiti say, but Mika, let me read this comment. I also need to put this here just out of appreciation. But Mika, they don't have education. How to solve this? We all have to find a solution and educate them. Okay, Salamawit. So here's the plan. I told you guys that this is what we want to do. So the plan is this. We are going to have a forum of smart farming forum. We are going to target people that we want to do these projects with. And as I say, we're going to take university students who either graduated from agriculture sector or people who are interested in agriculture, or they're already doing actually. I know them, I already started to talk to them, they're already doing. We're going to target them. We're going to bring in one place in one city. We're going to have a conference, a forum. We're going to invite different people from smart farming sectors who are doing. We have one of our sisters in South Africa, Samgalisiwe. She has a firm. Basically, she has a company that is dealing with that. We also, if let's say, because here I'm in Korea, I'm trying to find opportunities here. If we have anyone from Korea who are going to collaborate with us and support us, they'll also send their expertise back home. So in this forum, these guys, they will transfer their knowledge, what they have, to our people. So we'll have a forum, of course, of 2 days or 3 days, 2 days pretty much, but also we'll have a small seminars in our office. I believe we'll be having office by then. In our office, this is the project that we want to start doing next year, right? In our project, in our office, they will transfer that knowledge, everything that we need to know about smart farming, the ways, the tools, everything. We need to find out, we need to know that. So even if sending our people somewhere to be trained, I don't like the idea of sending them here to be trained. No, I want them to come there to train our people there on the ground. You know what I'm saying? To train our people on the ground right there. So if they're going to come, they will come there to train our people on the ground. We have that knowledge. So these people that are already trained, us as Swahili Nation One Africa, of course, let's say we already received these donations to do this work. What we'll do is we buy all the things that they need to be bought for the work. If it is the acres, land, we do that. The tools, we do that. And these people who are trained, they are going to supervise this work. So them, again, they're going to hire the local people who are doing farming, who are doing these activities. They're doing that. So basically, we're giving employment to these university students who don't have job and they graduated already. We're helping the government. And also them, they're training the local people. They're helping another government, other people. And whatever that we produce, the profit we get is coming back to the organization, donated to the organization. And through that, those salary of these people who are farming, they'll be getting their salary, they'll be getting everything. But in that way, we'll be able to invest back to do other stuff, because the plan is not to ask for donations all the time, not to go and to ask anybody who wants to collaborate with us. Oh, no. We hate that spirit of asking. We hate that spirit of going outside and ask somebody who is non-African. This is Africa. This is African concept. These are African things. We need to be doing it by ourselves. So we're producing something that we're creating profit at the same time. We donate back to the organization, and then we go back to continue to do other projects with the same money that is there. We continue to do it. So these are plans, are ideas, are concept notes, and proposals that we already write. As I'm telling you now, guys, I already have those proposals. They're here. They're the one that I'm sharing. So you understand, Salamawit? That means our people, they will have that knowledge already of doing things. They get this expertise. They learn from the best. They see how to do it. They do it. We do it as Swahili Nation One Africa organization. We'll do everywhere. Whenever we have an office, we'll have that as well. We have it on the land. The rest, I'm telling you, the rest, what the rest? If you have already tools, you have the land. Come on, man. I see here how they build. I see how they do irrigation system. We're going to do that in Africa. So our people, they have knowledge, and those people that are there, those are the ones that will train the rest of Africans, because they already have expertise. They do it already, and they're the one that they go to train our people. I realize I use a lot of energy. Details matters. Exactly. So those are details. Preparation, details, time. So yeah, so guys, that's pretty much unity is power. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I am done here for 1 hour and 6 minutes. I'm done. Oh, okay. I see one comment here. Oh, Yenatan, it's good to see you, my brother. I say keeping one with nature for healthier lifestyle. Nice. Thank you. Aida Muhammad, she says, yo, you, what Mika in Addis Ababa, we're using small place for cabbage, lettuce, carrot. My mama don't want to buy this. It will grow like 3 months. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Aida Muhammad, exactly what you're saying. That's what we're supposed to do. When you do this smart farming, that's what we do. We grow all those stuff. They grow within 3 months. That means within 3 months, we, as Swahili Nation One Africa, we can actually, man, if we grow this is what we'll do. We will supply to all the supermarkets, in Tanzania. All the supermarkets, in Africa. We'll supply it. And they will have the label of Swahili Nation One Africa Foundation. They will have it. One Africa cabbage, One Africa milk, One Africa honey. They will have everywhere across the continent. We'll supply it everywhere. You understand what I'm saying? We supply it everywhere. So instead, in those supermarkets, sometimes you have like food from this country, from that country. Man, we want to fill those supermarkets with African foods. If we produce the huge amount of this stuff, we're going to supply everywhere to these supermarkets. We're going to sell them. We'll take the deals to sell to these supermarkets, and the money, it goes direct to the organization account to do other projects that we do have. That's how we do it. That's how you do it. The only thing that we need support to start with. So we wrote a proposal that we are sending to different potential people to start this as soon as possible. The moment I'm leaving here in South Korea, I'm going to Tanzania. I mean, I'm leaving here, but I'll go to Ethiopia first. I'll stop by there, and then I'll go to Tanzania afterwards. When I go there, we want to start as soon as possible next year. If we have everything, we'll start right away, even this year. Because we need to purchase land and we need to start do right away. We need to create all these houses, greenhouses. We need to do that. And we're going to do it. Guys, you're going to do it. You understand me? Swahili Nation One Africa, we are going to do it. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm asking all these. I send these emails to different organizations. Send a concept note to see if anyone will be interested to actually support. Because if you really want to support, don't send food to Africa. Give us tractors, give us ability to do it. Don't give me fish. Teach me how to fish. And that's what we want to try to do, bringing all this expertise to come there, train our people. Not only that, to do farming by ourselves. Don't give me food. I'm going to farm and to produce food by myself. When you give me food, we hurt our parents. We hurt our people, the local farmers who are building, who are working so hard to make sure that they sell their products, but they can't because the food is coming from outside. And if it comes, you don't have a market. Local farmers don't have a market, but we are going to save our local farmers. They need to benefit from what they're doing. They're the one that's sustaining the continent. They need to benefit. They need to see the product of that. And we're coming with a new way, with the best way of doing farming, that even young people like me and you would do it. You understand what I'm saying? That's why we want to go and do it. Wondim again, Dingato, it's good to see you. Hello, it's good to see you. Guys, I just share a lot of things. If you missed out, you can go back to this video and watch. I just share our very first project that we're going to do in details. Go check it out. And also I shared why we need to institutionalize Africa. I shared how other countries are, they are very succeeding. And that's because of institutionalization. We need to have as many as institutions as we can. We need to start. Here we have Swahili Nation One Africa institution. This is something that we can raise, because the idea is not just to have that, it's to have schools, to have hospitals, to have industries, to have smart farming, to have greenhouses, to have everything. That's the idea. That's the idea, and we're going to actualize it. Yeah, right. I always have a lot of ideas, but they're ideas that can work. And the only way to work is by start doing it. So you can either sit and be spectator, or you can participate and be part of the change that Africa needs. And we are going to see that One Africa. And another thing I didn't even touch about One Africa, man, doing this, because we're going to do throughout the continent. If we do that, even if we do in one country and then we supply to other countries, what does it mean? We're connecting our people. We're connecting our farmers. We're connecting our young people, the young university students. We're connecting them, bringing this expertise from here, this country, go to that country to experience, to share their knowledge, to show them how we do it. Because these people who are going to be managing this smart farm, they're direct in the family of Swahili Nation One Africa. You understand what I'm saying? So we're uniting our people everywhere. In every way, we're doing it. Man. And somebody sitting there saying, One Africa is not possible. I'm telling you, man, it was not possible because I was not there. You understand what I'm saying? It's not possible because I was not there. But now we are here and we're going to achieve it together. There's no thing as a one man standing. No, together we are going to achieve it. Our ancestors, they started the movement, they built foundation, and we are going to carry all the way to the end, and we're going to witness One Africa in our generation. It's not possible. You believe it's not possible. Work against One Africa. It's okay. You do it. It doesn't matter. But man, God is on our side. Do you understand what does that mean? God is on my side. I share with you guys the testimony of where I got here to live. That is the testimony of the wonder-working God. God, guys, God is on our side. Do you understand that? Let me share with you something here that I shared with my friend before. All right, I shared this scripture with my friend, and I said, my friend, listen to this. Look at this. He said, the Lord all powerful is with us. The God of Jacob is our defender. God is our protection and our strength. He always helps in times of trouble. So we will not be afraid even if the earth shakes or the mountain falls into the sea, even if the oceans roars and foam on the mountain shake at the raging seas. You see? He just said, God is our protection and our strength. Therefore, I will not be afraid. I shall not be afraid. And then the last verse, he says, God all powerful. God all powerful is with us. Do you understand that? God all powerful, all knowing, the mighty King of kings, Lord of lords, the everlasting Father, faithful God, the loving Father, he is with us. Do you understand that? When God is standing with you, no one can stand against you. When God is with you, you should not be afraid. You should not be scared. You should not be worried, because the God, all knowing, all powerful God, all powerful. This world is in chaos because people are fighting for power. Power, this power of the government, power of leading 50 million people. People are fighting. The world is in the chaos because of this power. It's not even power, guys. You don't know the nature of power. The power is in God. God is all powerful God. The power is in unity. And that's the message we're preaching about here all single time. All powerful. The God all powerful. That's what it says. I'm reading here. The Psalm 46. Read the whole chapter of Psalm 46. The last verse. The Lord all powerful is with us. The God of Jacob is our defender. God is my protection and our strength. We shall not be afraid, even if there's a raging seas. Even this is what it says. Basically, it says when the chaos comes. Let me read again. It says, God is our protection and our strength. He always helps in times of trouble. So we'll not be afraid even if the earth shakes or the mountains falls into the sea, even if the oceans roar and foam or the mountains shake at the raging sea. We will not be shaken, will not be afraid. Even all this chaos happening, we will not be afraid. I'm telling you, Soil Nation One Africa, you who is watching me right now, this message is direct to you. You should not be afraid. Fear does not come from the Lord. Fear does not come from God. Fear is what stops us from making extremely big decision to change Africa, to change this world. Fear is what's stopping us from moving forward. Fear is what's stopping us from achieving anything. Fear is what's stopping us from going forward. Fear is what's stopping us from achieving what we want to do. Fear is the enemy of everything. Fear is the enemy of success. We shall not be afraid. Even if the raging seas are happening, even the V19 happen, even this and this happen, even if that had happened, let them happen, but we shall not be afraid. Why? Because God is our protection and our strength. All powerful God, all knowing God, almighty God, he's with us. Oh, just for 1 second, just thank God and tell him thank you for being with us. Because he chose to be with us, even though we don't deserve to be with him because of our sins. God, all powerful. That's a powerful scripture. God, all powerful, is with us. The God of Jacob is our defender. He defends us. Let me tell you something that you don't know. Do you see this logo? Do you see this logo? Let me tell you today just one meaning. I will come tell you the entire meaning of this logo. You see that line up there? That line up there, the long line, it represents God. God covering over Africa. God watching over Africa. God protecting Africa. God strengthening Africa. God is our protection and our strength. All powerful, all knowing God. That line right there, it represents God. Africa is right there. It's covered by God Himself. What are you afraid of? I'm telling you, bad things will happen, but do not be afraid. Do not be shaken. Because just the fact that bad things happen, it doesn't mean that God is not alive. It doesn't mean that God is sleeping. Man, God is alive, He's awake, and He's fighting for you, and He's fighting for Africa more than ever. You have no idea. And He has given us everything. That's why we're coming with these ideas. He has given us everything. He's the founder of idea, God Himself. Idea is not coming from men, it's coming from God Himself. And He's covering Africa. And that's the meaning of this logo right here, this line. I'm just giving you one. I'll give you one after another one. That line up there, it's God covering of Africa, showering of Africa. What is going to be impossible to us? What is going to be impossible to Africa? Men, we're going, I'm telling you, one Africa, it was not possible back then. It didn't happen back then because we were not there. We're here and it's going to happen. I'm not telling you this in faith. I'm telling you in reality. You believe it, take it. You don't believe it, it's up to you. But you watch me, watch us. Sit there and watch us. God is right there. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? Africa, what are you afraid of? Africa is strong. Africa is powerful. Africa is fearless. Africa is everything. Africa, no, let me take it back because God is everything. Africa is not everything. God is everything. But Africa is powerful because God is watching over Africa. Africa is strong because God is strong. Africa is going to be successful because God has already allowed those blessings to shower over Africa. Africa is going to achieve every possible way. In our eyes, we're going to see it, and we're going to do it with our bare hands. God, He says this, He blesses the work of our hands. Do you understand that? If you put your hands to activity, you do it, God is going to bless that work. That's why we're putting our hands into farm, into agriculture. Whether there's a rain or there's not, we're going to have excessive amount of supply of food because God is going to bless the work of our hands. Put your hands into work and see what God is going to do. Even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you. And that should wake you up as soon as possible. That line there in the logo, it represents God above everything. God at the center of this continent. I'm telling you, man, they didn't achieve back then United Africa. Where was God? He was there. But you know what? God is not going to interfere anything if you don't welcome Him. Swahili Nation One Africa, God is everything. He's at the center of what we are doing, and we are going to achieve everything because with Him, everything is possible. We are going to do wonders. We're going to do impossibles. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, even if today everybody leave, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this, guys. Even today, even if everybody leaves in this family, let me say this. I'm saying this and I mean it. Even if I go to sleep today and then I wake up in the morning, I see Swahili Nation subscriber 0. I'm going to achieve One Africa. We are going to achieve One Africa. We're going to do it. We're going to, and why we're going to do it? Because God is looking up to people who are ready to save, who are ready. God wants to do something in Africa, but where are people to use? He's not going to come from heaven and to bring about unity. He's not going to come from heaven to save Africa from hunger. He's not going to come from heaven to bring industries in Africa. He's not going to do that. He's going to use people who they have eyes to see, who they have vision to follow, who are willing and are ready to put their hands into work. He's going to use that. He's going to bless that, and He's going to multiply that. That's what God does. He uses people to change His things. Well, He even used trees, mountains. He used ocean. He can use anything. But you know what? I don't want God to use stone, and I'm here. Use me, Lord. Use me. I'm ready. Use me to bring unity in Africa. Use me to bring peace in Africa. Use me to bring love in Africa and our people. Use me to bring prosperity in Africa. Use me to bring institutions in Africa. Use me to bring industries in Africa. Use me to bring development in Africa. I'm ready. Use me. I'm ready. I'm ready. And we have our another sister who also she's ready. And she's going to come tell you here how ready she is. BJ, tell us.
Hey, how's it going? I mean, you are preaching, sir. You are preaching, and we need to open our eyes and see. We want to say, why are we in the condition we're in? Because what did we do? We turned our back on God, on Yah, on the Creator. And he's like when your ex turned her back on you or his back on you, you're like, oh, you go? Okay, fine. Do it on your own. I'll just stay here and see how that works out for you. And now we want to sit and complain like, oh, but God, it's all in his hands. He gave us choices. And what we have to do now is choose him first. If he sees your heart is pure and he sees your vision is right, he's going to bless it 1,000-fold. But every time you stumble, your knee will never hit the ground because he's got you.
Come on now. Come on.
And people need to just, you want to put your faith in man. I think we've had what? I'm on the other side of the river. I'm just gonna say, over 500 years of under American system that has not changed and has not fully worked. So putting my faith in man ain't gonna get me nowhere.
Exactly.
So we can reinterpret, reclassify, create new names for whatever it is. It still ain't working. So why we keep sitting on a train that's stuck? They say that the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Get off the train.
Get off the train.
And build a new one.
I say, pull over and let him drive.
And see how far it goes.
Yes, pull over and let him drive, and you'll see how safe you're gonna arrive to your destination.
Oh, and quicker and faster than you ever can imagine.
Come on now. Safe and sound, and you get there on time, right on time, without any trouble. Because when the trouble comes, the Bible says, 46 Psalm, God is our protection and our strength. Protection. He don't just protect, he gives us strength.
Yeah, and the thing is, every one of us, if we open our eyes, know that he's been there on times that we should not be on this planet anymore, of turns and decisions we made, and how am I still standing through all this?
Come on now.
It ain't my smarts, because I ain't that smart. It's not by my looks and because I'm not that beautiful. How did I get through that situation? It is nothing but the Creator. His blessings upon me that still has me here, where thousands of people are not on this earth right now. So what made him choose me? So I know I have to choose him because without him, I know what the other side is going to look like.
Yeah. That's why I have so much confidence, because God created Africa and he created us and he put us there. You know what he did when he created Adam and he put him in the Garden of Eden? He told him, he gave him responsibility to take care of that garden. He told him, hey, take care of this garden. He created everything and he gave it to him. That's exactly what he did with this world. Created Africa and we are here. We are born here. Our job is to take responsibility to take care of this garden. But we should not forget that God, he already created that, and he gave everything. Those trees or fruits that they were there in the Garden of Eden, those are the minerals, resources that are here in Africa. Everything is
Yep.
inside. And he
Yep.
says, okay, take care of that. We
And
have, take care of it.
and the thing about it, Mika,
Mm,
you know, I'm on the other side of the river. Our resources are gone.
mm,
He never stopped blessing you guys, because all those resources have never been, not one depleted, not one disappeared, not one of them. So
1000%.
you should know, just seeing that the whole world depends on your existence tells
Mm,
you how blessed you are. So how can you think you're cursed? How can you
mm,
think you're not capable of doing anything?
mm.
I just watched Woody Meyer and the little girl who's from here, who's
Yeah.
13. She went to medical school. I mean, I'm loving it because she's coming over there to get an award. He's interviewing her. This is how that connection is
Mm,
built. That if
mm,
this 13-year-old kid over here can do this, why
mm,
can't you do it over there?
mm,
Stop putting these barriers in front of us.
mm,
He says you can do all things with the strength that I give you.
mm.
Start doing.
Yeah. Start doing it. Start doing it. And we know that, and we're going to do it. We have God in our logo, guys. You see that big line? That's Almighty God, all knowing God, all powerful God, our strength, our protection, our everything, the ultimate God, one
Yeah.
God. He's right there. And I'm telling you, man, I am ready. We are ready to be used by Him to bring these changes that we are talking about. Sit. If you want to sit, sit. Or you can listen to this guy right here. Say, get up, stand up for your continent, Africa.
Yes.
Because we
Because
have that
because
ready.
today is not the day for conversations. The
Oh,
day is for action.
mm-hmm.
We have to move. We have to do something. We can't sit there and think that everything is just going to fall in our laps and everything will be okay. No, we have to make that, because it's the effort that he sees in us that makes us, that allows him to move us forward.
1000%. 1000%. 1000%. Wow. Guys, do you hear that? Do you hear that, my people? I'm telling you, man. Don't come here and ask me that you're not gonna achieve that. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that, man. Hey, don't come and say that, because my answer will be very simple to you. I don't have all the answers, by the way, but I'll be like, hey, man, it's okay. It's okay if I'm not gonna do it. It's okay, but I know I will do it because it's not me that I'm going to do it.
And who are these soothsayers? Who are these soothsayers that tell you what you can and cannot do? Because if that's the case, tell them to send me over a couple of lottery tickets, because I could use a couple of funds right now.
Yeah.
Give me the number, so you know, because since they could see the future, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
And
you have that much power, you wouldn't have time to be figuring out what Mika's doing over there in Tanzania. So people, naysayers, you know, they could go sit down somewhere. Show me.
mm,
Don't give no man your power.
mm, yeah. 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 Come on now. Let me say it. Let me talk this to Africans. A lot of people, they're saying, and I've heard this a lot of times. They said the reason why you guys are not develop your stock is because of your faith. You believe that everything God, everything God. Let me tell you guys, don't ever believe in God. Don't ever even stop believing that. That's the secret. That is the source of everything. With God, we're going to do everything. We ain't just believing, but we're putting on actions. I'm telling you, when you believe and you put on action, you will see the results no matter what. Because there are people who they just put on the action, they don't even believe in God, and it happens. Just the power of action. But imagine combination of the power of belief in the Almighty God and the
Yes, yeah.
action going to bring change.
Oh yeah.
First of
And,
all,
and with those same people who
mhm,
says, well, why aren't you doing it? are you going over there and seeing what the European Union has done with the banks and how all your resources are going over there? So if you're gonna bring God in the middle of it, bring all the players at the table. Bring in a player who oppressed and stole and murdered and all these things to your people. Bring in a player who even today is controlling all of the money and resources that you have. You're not bringing them to the table. You can keep that little comment to yourself.
Yeah. Jonathan is asking me, say, what is in the Korean air that has put all this prophetic energy in you today? I appreciate the passion today. Man, I'm and let me say this, man, Korea. I know the history of Korea because I started here. Korea, and Jonathan, you know this. You know, Korea, the change that happened in Korea, you know when it started? It started because of the revival.
Yep.
Because the prayer that happened in Pyongyang, North Korea. And the house of prayer that I was attending here, they're the one that they started that prayer. I mean, that movement in Pyongyang. The revival that happened there spiritually is what transformed the country of Korea.
Yep. And it always does.
It always done. That's why even the river here, there's one river called Han River. The meaning of that river basically is the miracle river. Because everything that happened in Korea from the war, it was like nothing. And the change that happened because of the revival that happened in Pyongyang. And that's when even the founder, let me tell you, the founder of Compassion, you guys, Compassion World, the founder of Compassion, he got that vision when he was here in Korea, in Pyongyang, because of that revival. He saw it here, he started Compassion. And that's one of the very like clean organization that is supporting so many people across the world. Even me, I had kids that I was bringing them to school when I was here in Korea through Compassion, throughout the world. Everything, if you want to see, man, you cannot separate between God himself, the revival, and the change and the transformation in the certain country. It happened in the man. Just look. Countries that they have a big transformation, the revival happened, and transformation happened. Whatever it is, it happened. There's that connection is there. It is there, guys. I read the history of this country in and out, and I've been in these places. I've witnessed it. You take God out of the picture, I'm telling you, everything you do is meaningless, and it's nothing, and it's temporary. And anyways, it's temporary.
No, but you're absolutely right, Mika, and that's where the missing link, and that's what this colonialized education has, separation of church and state and all this other stuff has gotten us mixed up. Because once we remove God, we've lost everything. Yeah. And then if you let someone else define who your God is, then how are you ever going to win? And like you said, what happened in Pyongyang and with commission, he saw the direct connection. He felt it in his bones, and he knew what to do. And he didn't let anything deter him, and he didn't let anything stop him. And then all of a sudden, you fast forward and you see a totally new Korea. And because he did not falter from that path. Yeah. And his people did not falter from that path. And they knew what the importance of that path was. We have to stop allowing others to prevent us from doing what we need to do to better ourselves. We know what we need to do. It is ingrained within us, and we just like, no, it didn't happen. So what? Rome wasn't built in a day, as the saying goes. So it took 100 years, if 500 years. What you gonna do tomorrow? You ain't got nowhere else to go, so keep moving.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then you keep moving and you bring something else to the table. You don't just throw the table away and say, I'm just going to sit here and complain about what's going on right here, right now. Because it's easy to just sit and complain and do nothing. But while you're sitting and complaining and doing nothing, everybody else is making sure that they key moves are in focus
Mm.
and in motion. Everybody else is moving forward and elevating themselves while you're sitting there and complaining and say, "Oh, so then what you think is going to happen if you do nothing?"
You're saying it's so very true. Just it's time to really. I'm telling you, man. Like, for me, I do not really care if people believe or they don't. It's up to you, man. I just know what I'm saying. I know it and I believe it. And you one day,
But the thing is, Mika, we can see it.
mm,
We can see it. You're changing the narrative. And so many of your other content creators, they are changing the narrative. And once the word is out there,
mm,
it's a done deal.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
It always starts slow. It's
mm,
frustrating because it's like it's as slow as a snail pace. Is it? When these people get close, but the sparks are
correct.
firing off in these brains, and
Yeah.
they're starting to think, and they're trying to see, and they're trying to say, "Oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe this is." And the naysayers,
Mm,
they don't want things to change because they're in their comfortable little spot and they doing good and they eating the fat out of the cow and all this other stuff. So I don't want stuff to change. So of course they're gonna have to come and interject
mm,
and try to slow things. Try to, as in their brain, we're gonna stop this. No, you may slow it down a little bit, but it ain't stopping. This train is keep moving.
mm,
It's a new day. It's a new Africa.
mm,
And Africans are going to define who and what Africa is. It doesn't need anybody else's interpretation of.
mm,
Because if you go on any continent on this planet, you got people who are living in the same conditions you are living in, poorer than poor, ain't got enough to eat, barely has shelter over their heads. Point at one spot on this planet that you don't see that.
mm,
So why are you gonna sit there and point at your people and say they're this when my same people are going through the same crap? So stop looking at yourself as being less than or incapable of, because if you got the richest people on the planet, people laying on the streets trying to survive, then what's up with that? How dare we sit over here and try to judge somebody else? So you got to throw that narrative out the window. Okay, you're right. There are people who don't have. Okay, well, we're going to fix that. Give us a little time and keep moving on. Don't waste your breath on energy that's not feeding you.
mm. Well, guys, I just had to put this here. Thank you so much, BJ, to
You're
remind
welcome.
to remind you the little change that we made before. If you look at this description, it was voice to the voiceless, but that is changed now to voice of the muteless. All right, because we believe that no one is voiceless. Women, they have a voice. Youth, they have a voice. Young people, they have a voice. Africans, we have the voice, but we are muted in so many ways. In so many ways. So we are the voice to the muteless. Things that you cannot say, you will say it here in this platform. You say it. Things that you're not allowed to say anywhere, you will say it here. Questions that you're not allowed to ask anywhere, you'll ask here. Conversation that we're not allowed to have anywhere, we'll have it here. We're going to mute every single muteless people out there because you have a voice. Whether you know it or you don't know, you have a voice and your voice matters. I've always say that your voice matters. Raise your voice. Come and raise your voice. Swahili Nation One Africa, we are the voice of the muteless. We are the voice of the muteless.
I love it. And every voice is going to be heard.
Exactly. And that is the tagline of us. Soil Nation in One Africa, Voice of the Muteless. And we are living that, and we are going to see it. We are seeing it. And just stay ready. God bless everybody, and keep praying for us. Stand with us. Just know that God is on our side. He's on our side with His protection and strength. All powerful. Nobody is greater than Him. No one. No one. Guys, those human beings that you're scared of, they were created by Him. The same God who created you as well. Why should you scared of men? Why? Doesn't matter what kind of man is that. Doesn't matter how many people that kind of man he killed. But man, you're talking about the creation of God Himself. Don't be scared of a man. They're just men. I don't care who is that man. I don't care if he's. We ain't scared of you.
Oh yeah, because look at David and Goliath, a 13-year-old kid.
Come on now. Come on now.
Took out an empire.
Mm-hmm.
He will give you the strength that you need, but you got to make the move to use the strength that He gives you.
Exactly. So remember this, if you're joining right now and you have no idea the meaning of the logo, today I gave you just one. The line on top of this logo here on the right top corner, the big line up there is God. God above Africa, God above everything, God watching over Africa, protecting Africa, shielding Africa, strengthening Africa. So may you have hope today that Africa is in safe hands, because hands of God, eyes of God are watching over Africa. Maybe sometimes imagining it might be very hard. That's why we are showing you in a logo to see it. That is there. It is there. And let me add another detail. Those two lines that you see, they're coming down there, that is diaspora. And so we had to include them in that line of God. Diaspora, and we have a huge number of diaspora in the western side. If you go to America, if you go to the northern part of America, if you go to Europe, if you go to everywhere, we have everywhere. That is the representation of diaspora we have. And those are BJ, Yanatan, Biggie, who are here, Reggie, and other people who are joining us here. You guys also, you are inside. We had to cover you in the lenses of God, that God is covering you guys as well, because you're part of us, you're one of us, you're us. You are us. Because you can be anywhere, everywhere.
We thank you for, shielding us and including us as well. Because, that's a huge blessing, because being in America, you don't really get that. You really don't. So that covering I take from you with great honor and great respect, Mika.
Amen. Xavier is right there with you guys. He's right there with you, because I believe, man, Africa is not just a place, but it's us, it's people, and we are everywhere. And God is watching over us. Like whatever we are scattered in this world, He's right there, man. And we want to show that. We want to show that in our logo for everyone to see that, okay, this is it, guys. When we say One Africa is it. When we say Africa is one big family with 55 different children, 54 countries in Africa, and one diaspora is there. Okay, let me reveal another meaning. But one day I'll come to explain just that logo. Let me reveal another meaning here. You see those lines inside the map. Those lines there, guys, is fingerprints. The fingerprints. One thing about fingerprints is unique. There's no fingerprints that are related in this world. Even if it's you and your dad and your mom, everybody has a unique fingerprints. What does it say?
So it's encompassing everybody.
Exactly. That's what it says about Africa, that Africa is unique with different uniqueness, that everybody is included with their uniqueness. There's nothing like that. So diverse, so special, very unique, and we have that fingerprint. But also it has another meaning. Another meaning is roots. You see those lines, it looks like roots. Those lines are not borders. It's roots and fingerprint. Roots, why roots? because right now we are in the campaign of reimagining Africa, basically going back to our roots, the roots of Africa before colonization, the roots of Africa, who we are as Africans before colonization. What is the truth about Africa? The roots that created this nation, the roots that sustain our continent, the roots that us as African, we should always go back there. There's so many development these days are happening. There's so many different agendas. There's so many propaganda are coming, but we should always remember our roots, where we are coming from and who God created us to be as Africans, our culture, our nationality, who God created, called us to be. We should always save that. We should protect our roots. That's the meaning of those lines, fingerprints and roots. Let me move forward. There's another thing that you might not be able to see in this logo. That another thing, if you look closely, if you go closely to see in this logo, again, I said three things that I stand with: preparation, details, and time. If you go straight, you zoom in that logo, you will see there's a 2 empty gap in the line of Africa. Like, this is the line of Africa, right? There's 2 empty gap. It's kind of like gates. Empty, like somewhere, you guys, okay, you'll see it if you zoom in, but you see there's a this African map, right? It's like this, but in this side, in this angle here, in the horn, there's a gap. We left a line a little bit, and here on top, close to diaspora, there's also a gap. What does that mean? It means Africa is open to the rest of the world. We're not closing Africa to anyone, but it's open to the rest of the world. You guys are welcome to come. If you're not African, please come. This is your home, because this is the nature, is the beginning of mankind. You're welcome. But when you come with your agendas of exploitation, we're going to get you. Not only that, God already sees it. He's protecting us. We're going to get you. You come. You want to do business, come. Do it. Depends on our standard, on what we want as Africa. We're still open. We're not closed to anybody. That's why I don't preach here like the race message. I don't talk about, oh, black is the best race than any other race. I will never say that. You never heard that from me. You will never hear that from me. If you want to hear that, this is not a place you're going to hear that. We all have a uniqueness that God created all of us. Whether you believe it, whether you like it or not, God created black people, God created white people, God created Asian, created everybody. There is no discrimination among that. You're not going to find it here. If they discriminated us, that is their ignorance. Me as African, as a black African, I will never discriminate any color out there. I will never. Because we are not just a race, we are people. We are people. The people. We are the people. We are the people. And even in Africa, we have all kind of races in Africa, and they're Africans. So if we start focusing on the race, we are losing the picture. That's not what God wants. That's not what we're going to do. It's not what we're going to do. You either take it or you leave it. That's it. There's no compromisation. There is no compromisation. We are not race-based movement. We are not. We are Africa. We are people-based movement, Africans-based movement. And we care about our people. When I'm saying our people, I mean we care about Africans. No matter who you are, no matter how you look like, don't worry. Don't feel like this is. That's why we call one Africa. We don't call black Africans. No, we don't say that. We say one Africa. Do you understand what I'm saying? We say one Africa. It's not just about race, but it's about people. Africans of all kind of race, they're here. It's about that. Our eyes are open, guys. Don't say that, oh, okay, I know the concern. There's so many concerns that, yes, but usually it's like this or take advantage of it. Let me tell you this. Since when the hatred or hate brought about unity, brought change? Hate never bring change. Hate never bring change. The reason why we keep struggling because we're still competing one race after another race. So every race pull out on their sides. I will pull on my side, they'll pull on our side. It's like the battle we have between men and women. There's a movement called feminism that basically they're standing for the equal rights. They want equal rights. That's what they're standing for, right? And so, but men, they feel intimidated that, oh, this, it feels like you want to be above us, you want to be there. But women, they've been there for a long time. Men, they feel like, oh, you guys, you want to be there. So there's this gender, it's just a huge thing. It's a huge controversial thing that is happening everywhere. But the matter of the fact is, man, God created all of us equal. We are not the same, but we are equal. So we should be treated each other with respect, with dignity. If I do a work as a man and I'm being paid $10,000 a month, and a lady, she's doing the same work, she's being paid $5,000 a month, that's not equal. That's not fair. We are all people. We are all created with the same Lord, with the same God. We always deserve a fair chance, a fair shot. That's what women they're asking for. Because in our societies, in our communities, that's not what happens. You see, men, they always run away. Men run away, run away. Just keep babies here, run away. Be baby. Men, be responsible for your own actions, for your own things. Be responsible. So as a people, that is that's just is a whole lot of topic about gender. But we have a whole another topic about race. That's why we lose our focus. That's why we'll never find reconciliation between two different races if we keep pulling on our sides. Guys, you'll not find it. There is one race that has always enjoyed to be on top for so long. When they see another race fighting for their rights, the only thing they see is that, oh, these guys, they want to become on top of us. Should we stop fighting? No, we should not stop fighting. We should keep fighting. But our agenda, our target, and our hearts should be focusing on our people, knowing that we have all kind of people in our communities. Because otherwise, if we're not careful, we'll create a movement, we'll create a society, a community of people that will be targeting other people based on their race. We don't want to do that. It happened in the past. It ain't gonna happen again. It ain't gonna happen again. That might be what people want, but that's not what God wants. It's not. And I mean, honestly, if you want chaos and if you want disorder in this world, just follow your plans, and you'll see chaos falling under your roof like the way you have never seen before. Guys, I said a lot of things at the end there. Some of them you might agree with them. I understand. Some of them you might not agree with them. I understand. We can agree to disagree. That's okay. We might not have the same feeling about certain things. That's okay. But we all agree with one thing, that we need one Africa. We are all people. We are all Africans. The mother of mankind is here in Africa. Guys, if the first human being was found here in Africa, what does it tell to the rest of the world? We are all Africans. We are all Africans. You think about that, and then think about whatever you believe in. All right, guys, I'll be done for now, for today. I love y'all. I gave you a little bit of the meaning of the logo, but I'll come another time with a special stream just to explain about the meaning of this logo in detail. I will come here and I'll share with you. BJ, she's back here, so I'll put her in to at least say her final thoughts, and then we'll be closing. BJ, welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Final thoughts is, wake up, people. This is not 1922. It's not 1822. It's not 1722. It's 2022, and we don't have the luxury of just sitting and twiddling our thumbs and thinking things is going to change on its own. We have to make the change. If there's something that you need or want or feel that has to be changed in your community, no matter how big, how small, we have to come together and do it. And we can't complain about it's not like what it is over there, because what's over there is not yours to determine what it's going to be or what it's not going to be. We have to make the future to become what we need and want it to be. And it's going to be trial and errors, and there will be setbacks. There will be times that you're going to get tired and ready to pull everybody's hair out. But you keep pushing through it and keep moving forward, because, again, our future, our children's futures depend upon it. Yeah, it's okay to complain about some things sometimes, but we can't live in complaint. We have to take actions. And we already know the battle is won if we lean upon and turn towards our most high creator. But if we turn our back on him, then what do we expect? That's why we're sitting where we're sitting at now. And don't want to take ownership of anything. No matter how small the action is, if you're making the action towards right, it's going to benefit you, and it's going to benefit all those who are around you. Our children are looking at what we do, and they're mimicking and imitating it. So if we're saying, why is our kids all out of control? Take a look in the mirror. And you think God is supposed to bless our chaos? No, that's never going to happen. So that means we have to do something different and make a change and come together and stop feeding into someone else's narrative of what we are or should be when it never benefits us. Thank you, Mika.
Amen. Thank you, BJ.
Mm-hmm.
I sent to you the email, so you check that out, and I'll see you very soon.
Yes, definitely. I'm working on it.
Yes.
It may not happen tomorrow, but it's
Oh,
gonna happen.
yeah. I know. You check your email too. We'll meet up this Sunday, I guess.
Okay, we'll
All
do.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you, BJ. Yeah, guys, I want to appreciate you for staying here. Remember what BJ said at the end. It's very important. And remember that Soil Nation One Africa, we are the voice for the muteless. Not for the voiceless, not to the voiceless, for the muteless. If your voice has ever been muted before, we are here and we are your voice. We can be your voice. We are your voice because you're part of this. So you're going to raise your voice as well. That's how it works, right? And we're all God's children. Yeah, I was reading actually message. All right, guys. Thank you. The bank account you see down there is for the organization Swahili Nation One Africa Foundation. Again, I will say this bank is being managed by the organization. It's not my personal bank account. It's managed by the organizations. Two people actually that are on the land, Tanzania, that you cannot do anything unless two people agree and you have signature for every person. You guys, how organization works. So for all the donations, for the office, for anything, guys, for anything, please use this account to donate and to give whatever that you have. All right. The GoFundMe page is still out there for your convenience. If you want to use GoFundMe, you can still continue to use this out there. We still promote that. We want to use all the ways we can, because sometimes people, they don't have an access to do something like this. But these are the bank accounts we will always show here, and our host, they will always share here for you guys to see that it's a bank account from STANBIC Bank. Branch is Tanzania, and this one is Swift code. And if you need anything else, just let me know, and I'll let you know like what else do you need. So this is the link for you guys to donate for the organizations. All right, guys, I appreciate it. I'm just gonna go ahead to pray, and then I will get out of here. God, I thank you for today. I honor you. I love you. I worship you. The everlasting Father, all-powerful God, our shepherd, our strength and protection in times of need. The King of Kings, Lord of Lords, Xavier. I bless you for your presence in Africa, in this beautiful continent. I bless you for your people and for your children. As we keep marching towards fighting for life that you've given us, precious life, fighting to protecting that. Continue to give us ideas and wisdom and ability and finance to actualize them all. With you, we're going to do wonders. And we're not leaving you aside. We're going with you in every step of the way. Together with you, we'll achieve and we'll do mighty things. I thank you for your acceptance and for your love and for your abundance. Jireh, the God who gives us everything we need. In your precious name, I pray, Jesus Christ. Amen. Peace and blessings to everybody. Appreciate, guys. I love you, and I'll leave you with this powerful message.
Okay, let me tell you this, guys. Darkness has no power. Darkness has no power at all. Like darkness, it has no power. Why? If you're in the deep darkness, all right, you don't see anything. You don't see where you're going. You don't see what is next to you. And then you just turn light. In 1 second, that darkness disappears. So do you understand the importance of light in the midst of darkness? Okay, on the other hand, if you have light, it doesn't matter how much there's a deep darkness. It doesn't matter, but you always see something as long as there's a light. This is to tell you that, guys, in the midst of darkness, there's these bright moments that happen, and our job is to focus on that. Sometimes, there'll be a time we'll talk about the issues and everything and the struggles that are happening and how can we get over this. And there'll be a time that we channel our energy and we channel our hearts to something good that is happening.